Hey YouTube, looky what I got. So I've taken on the extra venture of getting further involved with bees and starting to do cutout work, and also I'm looking to sell hives if I can acquire enough and start splitting my own and just kind of get into it from a hobby standpoint. I don't think I'll ever have the time or the space to be a big package producer or anything like that, but I'm looking at just selling assembled hives to people that want to established hives, people that want to have a backyard hive set up. And so far I've had varying success. I've had a lot of people call me asking for hives. Problem is, well, and this isn't a problem, but the good news is my wife just had our first baby, and so I promised her that I would turn off beekeeping for a couple weeks, and that was right after I put out the ad that I would do this stuff. So I've had people calling me, both wanting me to do cutouts and to sell them hives, and I just keep having to tell them, give me a couple weeks. Anyway, I had this guy call me, and this was a special case. He called and he said, "Hey, I saw your ad for beehives for sale," and he said, "I was wondering if actually you would just take one." I said, "For free?" "Well, yeah, for free." And what had happened was he had set up a single hive in his backyard, and he lives in a townhome. And okay, look at this space here between that solid fence and this kind of skin fence here where I took the planks off. That's about how deep and wide this guy's backyard was. It was like 15 by 15 feet, maybe tiny. And in the middle of it, he'd slapped a big hot tub. But he had it all planted with lots of vegetation. And he had just gotten into it from a hobby standpoint. He'd seen on National Geographic and read that bees were dying and thought he'd do his part, which is great. But I guess, bless his heart, he didn't really know anything about the bees. So he had told me, for 5 years off and on, he had varying success. He bought a package of bees, and then we had a hurricane. And he bought another package, and we had another hurricane. And he bought another package, and we had a drought. And he wasn't really sure how to take care of them. He just wanted them mostly to try to do his part. So anyway, he had the one hive, and finally he made it through a successful winter, and they swarmed, and he caught the swarm. So then he had 2 hives. And he had the 2, I think he said for 2 years. And just the other day, one of them decided to sting his neighbor. Off and on for 5 years, never had any problems. One stung his neighbor. So he said he felt bad. Of course, how can the neighbor prove it was his bees, right? But he said he had requeened this hive in the middle of June with a Minnesota hygienic queen. I'm not familiar with the Minnesota hygienics, but I have a feeling they might have some Russian blood in them, and if that's the case, they're probably going to be a little bit more aggressive than your standard Italian hygienics that we have down here. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. He said he never had any problems, and then he requeened them, and then now they're starting to be more aggressive. So they're not Africanized. There's no worry about that. I mean, you see how close I'm standing, and they're not even bothering me. I did take 5 stings the night that I went and got them, but part of that was because I took my veil off to help my wife for a second, and when I did that, I got 2 inside my veil, which is, beekeeper's worst nightmare, and one stung my ear. But then when I was actually carrying boxes out, I had several sting my arm through my suit. Actually, one got through my glove and my suit. But not even really enough to even leave a mark, just enough that I could feel her stinging me. But anyway, the setup here is 8 frame mediums all the way. There's no queen excluder, and at least the bottom 2 boxes, I'd say the bottom 2.5 are mostly brood. The next 3.5 are all honey, almost entirely honey, and the very top box has at least one full drawn frame of honey. So there's a ton of honey in this box. Each one of those boxes, as an 8 frame medium, felt to me like it was about 60 pounds. I don't know, it might have just been awkward the way I was carrying it, but it's pretty stout. And that's a lot of honey. I asked the guy, he said he has no interest in the honey, he doesn't have an extractor, he has no market for it. I'll probably bring him a couple jars back, just do the right thing. But man, he gave this all to me free, completely free, if I would just come take them. And I think I made a friend, because I'm going to see about setting some swarm traps out in his yard next spring when that other hive swarms again. I'll probably see if I can help him out from here on, because I think he does want to be involved. I think he just doesn't have the time to really learn as much as I feel that I know about him. But anyway, I mean, we're looking at a couple $100 if I was to buy all this equipment new. It would be almost $300, probably at least $300. That top cover has got the copper lid on it. Those go for almost $100. Each one of those mediums assembled with frames is like $40, I think, through Man Lake. So I think he got all this stuff from Brushy Mountain, but potato. Anyway, he gave me a lot of value here, and I really appreciate it. So, you know, it's not every day that you're going to get this lucky. But thing is now, I got, you know, if you really want to run the numbers on it, say I got $300 worth of equipment, I'd say $200 worth of bees, because this is a very well-established colony. And, you know, say 150 pounds of honey, even if I only get $5 a pound, that's still that's a lot. So, you know, but don't get confused. I'm not in it for the money. I really do enjoy the beekeeping. I love the beekeeping. The money is just a perk. But I was just so stoked that this guy just called me and said, hey, come take it. I don't want it. His other setup is 10 frame, I believe he said. So this doesn't match any of his other stuff. He said he has no interest in, you know, because I offered to return the boxes and everything once I got him moved. And he said he's not interested. He doesn't care. He just needed to get rid of them. So, you know, 1 in a million chance, and I got it. So I guess it pays to get your name out there and advertise. But anyway, I was just excited. I want to give you guys the good news about the beehive and the even greater news about my new daughter. She was born this morning at 2:01 a.m. Spent the night in the hospital, and Mom was still there, and I'm getting ready to go back. I just came home to do some chores and take a little daddy time. Not that I deserve it, but anyway, that's it. See ya.